I came out to my mom when I was 16 years old.
To be honest, I have a lot of privilege now that I've become a citizen.
And the very first thing she told me was that it was the reason that we had immigrated.
I have the opportunity to speak out without fear, without worry of being deported, and it's not a responsibility that I take lightly. So I'm taking a gap year, and actually it's my technically third gap year. I took my first gap year when I was 16. I took an academic leave of absence to study with the Department of State in Seoul, in South Korea, study Korean. And I loved it so much that I knew I wanted to go back after I graduated from high school. So I went back for another year after my high school graduation. It was an incredible opportunity, but at the same time, I was really kind of coming to terms with my identity and who I was. I had been told by my family members, like, that can't be, you can't be Guatemalan and be queer, you can't be Latino and be queer. So after a lot of reflection, I came to the conclusion that I needed to take another gap year to kind of reconcile my Latino identity with my queer identity. I had no LGBTQ friends, I knew of no LGBTQ people, so I packed a carry-on bag and moved here to DC. Hey everyone, I'm Javier. I use he, him, his pronouns. I'm originally from now I intern full-time at the Human Rights Campaign.
I literally had no idea that he also had this experience of being undocumented until the day after the election, and we had brought staff together for folks to just have an opportunity to process. And we were going around the room, and Javier shared this story of saying, you know, I actually have lived most of my life in the US as an undocumented immigrant, and I've never been more hopeful because I feel like I'm part of something bigger than myself right now.
My mother gave up her own dreams so that I could live an authentic life.
I've had the opportunity to directly reconcile my Latino identity with my queer identity.
Immigrant youth need you. I need you. We all need you.
As you know, following the election of Donald Trump as our president, there's been a lot of hateful rhetoric against the immigrant and refugee community. I've had the opportunity to explore those issues and actually share my own story through HRC's platforms, through social media, and also speak at a variety of rallies.
Our lives changed dramatically after we came to this country. My brother and I suddenly were no longer allowed to participate in after-school activities. We had to be careful about whom we befriended and what we shared with them. Most notably, we learned to live every day with a sense of anxiety and fear. You see, when my family first came to this country, we were undocumented.
What also completely blows me away about him is his willingness to share his story, to step into really a new leadership role.
She gave up her life so that I could have mine.
The greatest skill that I've learned here is learning how to use my voice to speak out for those who don't necessarily have a voice. And I think if you would have asked me before the election of Donald Trump as our next president what my hopes for the future, for my future, or what I hoped to even major in, I think had you asked me that before, my answer would have been completely different. I've really gained a passion for community organizing.
LGBTQ youth, immigrant youth, Muslim youth, let them know that you love them, that you support them, and that you will protect them from every attack.
This was my first election as an American citizen, the first time that I voted. And the truth is, you know, immigrants, we love this country because we recognize all of the great opportunities that we have here that we wouldn't have back home. And we really want to work towards building a better country for everyone. And so to be able to vote in this election was an incredible honor. And despite the results, I've never been more proud to be an American.